Today is Tuesday, July 28th, 2015, and I'd like to expand my rant from yesterday on Turkey, the Kurds in the U.S., and also include Syria and ISIL. Make a big roundabout of everything that's going on. Now, for the past year or more, the United States has been relentlessly pursuing Turkey on a couple of angles. Number one, they'd like to use the forwarded Turkish bases in southeastern Turkey so they can fly their sorties and drones against ISIL in northern Syria and northern Iraq. Doing so would save them approximately 400 to 1,000 miles on each one of those flights, planes or drones. They've been relentless in asking for this. Now remember, before the Iraq War, Tommy Franks or Franks wanted to go in through Turkey, and Turkey said no at the last minute. Now, we've always wanted to have good relationships with Turkey, and we must have given them something for this time. Now, so that's a good thing. Another thing that we have been relentlessly going after Turkey for is that there are some areas in Turkey which are basically the gateway places to go through Turkey into Syria, into Iraq, down towards Fallujah, down towards Ramadi, down towards Baghdad. And we have been after Turkey to cut off these vital links. Whereas approximately as many as 20,000 ISIL volunteers are going through Turkey to get to Syria and to get to Iraq to fight for ISIL or Daesh. So those are very, very good things, and the United States has taken advantage of that and has started using these forward bases. Now, in addition to that, what Turkey has done, Turkey has also used their forward bases to bomb ISIL in Syria, but then to bomb the Kurds in Iraq. Now remember, the Kurds are our ally in Iraq, and the United States is trying to, number one, supply more arms to the Kurds and to use the Kurds and to help them so that we can get territory back from ISIL, and then the Kurds can maintain that territory. Because remember, if we go and wipe out ISIL, it doesn't mean shit if we can't hold the territory. And right now, the United States is not going to hold any territory. And it is dubious as to whether in some of these areas of northern and western Iraq that are Sunni areas, that the Shiite majority in terms of the Shiite army, the Iraqi army, which is mostly Shiite, and the Shiite militias, which are mostly Shiite, would protect those areas. So we need the Kurds in northern Iraq. Now there is a portion of the Kurds that, not the Peshmerga, but I believe it's called the PKK, is actually listed as a terrorist organization. So obviously the United States couldn't bitch about that to Turkey when they bombed those places in Iraq, but it's really sort of going against what we would really like to get accomplished in Iraq. Now, this is telling me a couple things. Now, just one other thing before that is that there also is possibly a new strategic area that Turkey wants to clear out in northern Syria, which was that gateway towards Ramadi and Fallujah down towards Baghdad from Turkey down through Syria down towards Iraq. Now, the thing is that if they cut out this area, and according to one show, it's about 60 miles long, 25 miles deep. The question is who is going to maintain that as that buffer zone to keep all of IS, to keep all of Daesh out of there. Because on the left side of that buffer zone, against the border of Turkey, is territory held by the Kurds. On the right side, west side, east side. On the east side of that territory that Turkey wants to cut out as a buffer zone against Daesh is also land that's being held by the Kurds. And I'm wondering if, considering what is going on now, another thing that Turkey wanted to do, Turkey wants to get rid of al-Assad. Because remember, Turkey's taking in an inordinate number of the refugees from Syria. And my understanding is also that as right now, this has been a terribly hot summer. Climate change has really affected Syria. Water has been cut off in many places in Syria. Raw sewage is all over the place. So this is just a terrible, terrible thing. Assad admitted the other day that his troops are war weary. And the question is, and of course, he's also let people who have left the army, what do you call that? I can't remember the term right now. Deserters. He's also let them come back. And, the question is, he's getting to the point where he's getting pretty desperate. From a technical standpoint, I can't see how he can continue this civil war indefinitely. And if there isn't some type of negotiated settlement soon, number one, he's going to be gone. And maybe Russia will become a player in this thing, which could also have some very bad consequences. He's going to be killed, which means there's going to be another civil war as to who's going to run who's going to run Syria. And then the next thing is, if Turkey is going to go into this buffer zone to claim it for themselves, to protect, to get ISIL out of there, and they shut off their border in Turkey so that the volunteers who want to come to ISIL can't come to ISIL through that area of Turkey. Is Turkey then taking over that land for themselves, and will they want to keep it if Assad goes down? And if Assad goes down, will they want to then kick the Kurds out of the areas east and west of them to create, to basically cut out that territory of Syria and just have that for them, and at the same time kick the Kurds even further out? And of course, with the Kurds being bombed, now remember, there is a PKK, which they said is a terrorist organization. There's also many Turkish Kurds who do not want to have a civil war with Turkey. There are many people in Syria who are Kurds and in Iraq who are Kurds who don't have a fight with Turkey. They want to live their existence. They're not looking to have to take land from Turkey. But there are some of the PKK or the PKY in Iraq, and that's what was bombed. So a lot of things are going on. As I said, if Russia wants to get its dirty face in it, don't see that happening right now because oil prices are way down. They're retreating from the Ukraine. Remember, none of our friends on the right have talked about that at all. But there's a lot going on right there. Is Turkey want to take over parts of Syria? That they want to get rid of the Kurds get rid of all the Kurds out of Syria? Can Assad stay on? Will there be a civil war if he leaves? If he leaves or if he's killed, I think that there will be a civil war. And if he stays, there's a civil war right now, and it's just going to get worse. Where does Turkey look into all of this? Where does the United States want Turkey to be, and how much are they willing to accept Turkey doing some of these things? A lot going on. And right now I can only see it get worse because I don't see Assad leaving. And we need, meaning the United States needs to help the Kurds so that they can get territory in Iraq and maintain that territory. So this is going to be a long, hot summer. More is definitely going to be coming our way in the very near future.